Interrupted ferns are in the royal fern family Osmundaceae, a group that has changed little in hundreds of millions of years. Unlike the cinnamon stick spears of the closely related cinnamon ferns, the fertile bits on these ferns interrupt the frond in the middle. As the only extant fern in the genus Osmunda, it's often found with ostrich, cinnamon, and sensitive ferns in forests and fields and along stream edges. Here are two typical vase-like plants. Let's look at the frond's shape and cuts. Consider the frond as a solid blade, which starts relatively wide, is widest near the middle, and then tapers sharply at the tip. A first cut to the blade midrib makes some leaflets or pinnae. Taking one of the pinnae and making a second cut almost to the pinnae midrib yields some somewhat attached pinnules, making the fern pinnate pinnatifid. The pinnule appears uncut to the midrib because of adnate tissue, which forms a thin connection between the distinct veined pinnule and the midrib. In these sterile plants, a single ring of fronds appears low to the ground. The flat profile works well enough when spores are not at play. The taller, fertile fronds actually arise from an outer ring, but grow more upright. Both their height and center location helps with spore dispersal. The hairy fiddleheads, a family trait, are framed by last year's stems. Up early in the spring, when snow is still a possibility, here the spore-bearing pinnae are already visible. On this early, unfurling frond, the boundary between dark green fertile and light green sterile pinnae is clear. Fertile fronds will usually have 3 to 7 sporangia-covered pinnae. Unlike many later ferns with thin sori on the underside of the frond, these are grape-like clusters. When ripe, brown sporangia split open along a slit to release spores, leaving Pac-Man-like remnants. As these drop away, only the gap on the frond remains. Interrupted ferns are fuller, with more overlapped pinnules, giving them an almost solid look compared to the similar-looking cinnamon fern, which also have tufts of hair at the bases of their pinnae. Osmundaceae has persisted as an ancient fern family, with genera varying in how fertile parts are presented. Cinnamon ferns have an entire fertile frond, the cinnamon spire. Royal ferns have fertile frond tops. Interrupted ferns have their fertile middles. All are large, hard-to-miss ferns, even when growing singly. A little less showy than its relatives, the interrupted fern also reproduces clonally through its slow-spreading rhizomes that grow less than an inch a year. Individual rhizomes can be hundreds of years old, making the size of the colony a lush green clock ticking off the centuries.